Oh, should probably have more manners than. I forgot I had it on. I just want to show this off. Actually, good morning. My name's Glenn Weber. You're a worship leader for this morning's service, and this is Common Ground, our celebration of worship from people of many paths who gather to share in the responsible search for meaning and truth. This is a warm and open community where all who come with open minds and kind hearts are welcome, regardless of ability, age, race, gender identity, or sexual orientation. We hope that all who join us today find this a safe place to worship. Now please greet the people near you. You'll have an opportunity to greet everyone during our coffee hour. When you hear the bell, please sit down. Yeah, next we do the song. That's backwards, isn't it? Oh, okay. Please be seated, which you are. Good job. We are beginning this morning's service with a responsive reading, You Are Beloved and You Are Welcome Here, written by Joan Javier Duval. The congregation is invited to speak the words in pink, and I will read the words in black. Okay, please start. You are beloved and you are welcome here. Whether tears have fallen from your eyes this past week or gleeful laughter has spilled out of your smiling mouth. You are beloved and you are welcome here. Whether you are feeling brave or broken-hearted, defiant or defeated, fearsome or fearful. You are beloved and you are welcome here. Whether you have untold stories buried deep inside, or stories that have been forced beyond the edges of comfort. You are loved and you are welcome here. Whether you have made promises, broken promises, or are renewing your promises. You are loved and you are welcome here. Whatever is in your heart, however, it is your soul in this moment. You are beloved and you are welcome here. In this space of welcome and acceptance, commitment and recommitment, of covenant and connection. Let us worship together. Now, as you are willing and able, please stand and join the Come As You Are choir in our gathering song, Holy is Our Humor.
Let us
This is the fire of our faith. Please join me in these words from the Unitarian Universalists of Cumberland Valley as Marla Loturco, today's speaker, lights our chalice flame. Did I get your name right?
Yes, you did.
All right.
Let there be light.
Let it shine in hard places, in moments of pain, in times of grief, in the darkness of hatred, violence, oppression, where there is discouragement and despair. Wherever darkness is put into light, let there be light. Let there be laughter. Let it be heard in moments of sadness, in times of sorrow, in the darkness of boredom, where there is depression and anxiety. Wherever sadness is to be put to flight, let there be laughter. I invite you to join me in a renewal of our sacred promises. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament. Service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other. Please be seated. And as you are seated, please move towards the walls to make it easier for folks still arriving to find seats. Also know you may enjoy the service remotely upstairs in the loft on a large TV. The children will learn about Black American John Cashin. John Cashin was a pilot, a dentist, a husband, and a father of 3 children. He often ran for mayor in his town, Huntsville, Alabama. John Cashin's resilience meant that he could run for office, and each time without expecting to win. His point was that it is possible for a black person to be part of the democratic process. The youth will continue to watch. He named me Marla. At this time, children are invited to take part in religious education. Let us send them out with these words. We pass this flame of religious freedom from generation to generation. The call to worship today will be a series of thoughts and quotes displayed on the screen. Please read silently and quickly as they advance through. I assume that's our last slide. And now we'll have 2 readings by Marty and Ted Kuzmersky.
This first story is Why Is It Essential to Find Humor During Your Darkest Hour by Amy Foster. This is Amy's story. During my pregnancy with my second daughter, Grace, a routine scan showed that the baby had a rare and serious heart defect. From that moment onward, my husband and I started walking along the most challenging, heartbreaking, and grueling road either of us had ever traveled. The journey saw us cry often, but you'd be surprised that we laughed a lot, too. On the day of the scan, the fetal cardiologist spent a long time scanning our baby's heart, and when she finished, she sat down to explain her findings. Up until that point, we knew the problem was serious, but we didn't know the exact diagnosis. She took out a pad of paper, and she started drawing this detailed diagram of the baby's heart. Then she looked up and asked, "How's your biology?" My husband, who had just had one failed attempt at a biology general certificate of secondary education, looked worried, as though he were 15 years old again, and she was about to ask him questions. Not good, he said, apologetically. And even in the midst of such a traumatic experience, I found this small part so funny, I started laughing. Well, there's no point in trying to be solemn just for solemnity's sake. Even in the darkest, most trying, and most difficult moments, I believe if something is funny, you have to laugh. Seize the opportunity to escape the situation, even for just a few seconds, and welcome the release. On the day of Grace's funeral, as my husband and I sat together, clutching our hands, the choir began the first song. I had never properly heard my husband sing before, and it was the poorest display of tone-deaf screeching I had ever been subjected to. It was also extremely funny, and I couldn't help but bursting into fits of giggles. Everyone else thought I was crying. You may think me heartless. How could I laugh at my own daughter's funeral? Believe me, that day was the saddest and heaviest of my life. Minutes earlier, when my husband and I had carried Grace's tiny white coffin into the crematorium, the pain was so intense I didn't think I could make it. And then suddenly, my husband once again exercises his great ability to make me laugh, and the laughter lightened me for a few moments. A minute of laughter allowed me to momentarily forget the sorrow and the heavy burden that was temporarily lifted. Grace only lived one day, and I will never know the person she could have become, but I do know that she would have loved me for laughing, and she would have been happy that the laughter got me through the pain of her short life. My husband is a very funny man. He has me in stitches every single day, so much that sometimes I can't even stand up. He hides this from the rest of the world, and I feel privileged to be one of the few people he shows this side to. When we were at the doctor's office and at Grace's funeral, he wasn't trying to be funny. And yet, even during the most difficult of times, he still had the ability to make me laugh. When Grace died, many people told me that the burden of grief would probably cause our relationship to be strained and difficult. We were given lots of well-meaning advice, and yet our relationship didn't suffer at all. Indeed, we became stronger, and we developed an even deeper bond. I think humor has a lot to do with it. The ability to laugh every single day, despite our grief, pulled us through our mourning together. I came to admire my husband even more for his strength and compassion and kindness, and of course, his wonderful sense of humor. Laughter is a remarkable healing force, allowing you to forget yourself and to bond with the person you are laughing with. I have witnessed friends who, when going through tough times, stop themselves from laughing at something even though they know would normally be funny. We have a tendency to halt our laughter because it doesn't seem right or appropriate, because we might feel guilty if we let it go. Laughter is always right and appropriate, as long as it's not at someone else's expense. In your darkest hours, if you find something funny, allow yourself to laugh. Many studies have shown that laughter and humor have a huge array of benefits, including strengthening the immune system, reducing pain and stress, and increasing energy. If you're going through a difficult experience or are generally feeling down, humor may accidentally find you. Embrace it. And if you don't come across it by chance, then track it down in a way that you can lose yourself into some proper laughter. Watch a film that never fails to make you chuckle, or speak to a humorous friend, or read a funny book. It's not wrong to laugh when things are tough. On the contrary, I promise it will help.
Laughing During Tough Times by Steve Goodyear. Laughter and tears are part of living, but do you find enough time for laughter? I'm not asking if you experience lots of good times. Of course, we should laugh during the happy times, but do you also laugh during the difficult times? Irma Bombeck is known for her humorous books, but she wrote one that covered a more serious topic: cancer in children. The book is titled, I Want to Grow Hair. I want to grow up. I want to go to Boise. Bombeck talks with numerous children with cancer and learns important life lessons from them. She learns, for instance, that cancer survivors know how to laugh. She cites the experience of 15-year-old Jessica from Burlington, Vermont. Jessica's leg was amputated at the knee because of cancer. She was learning to wear a prosthesis. Jessica tells about playing soccer. She kicked the ball hard and it flew off in one direction while her artificial leg flew another way. Then, quote, the tall, gorgeous person that I am, she said, convulsed on the floor in laughter. Jessica may not have laughed about her cancer, but she laughed about dealing with the consequences of it. And her laughter helped her cope. Then there is the story of 17-year-old Betsy. She made her way to the radiation room for her regular radiation therapy. As usual, she dropped her hospital gown and, wearing only her birthday suit, climbed onto the table and waited. After a couple of moments, she began to realize something disturbing. The extra people in the room were not the medical students she had thought, but rather painters giving an estimate on painting. Betsy laughs heartily about the incident, and like Jessica, her ability to laugh helped her to cope with one of the most difficult things a young person can endure, cancer. Biblical wisdom teaches that there is a time to weep and a time to laugh. Do you find plenty of occasions for laughter? You can, if you also find reasons to laugh during the especially difficult times. Survivors know how to laugh. If you can laugh even when the going is rough, you'll make it and you'll smile at the end.
Before we begin any laughing, and we will be laughing, I remember the last time. Take a brief moment to check it with yourself how you're feeling right now. And this is not for sharing, just for your own information. What's your energy level? Are you tired, energized, or sleepy? How are you feeling towards others? Friendly, withdrawn? Are you feeling any tension, anxiety, anger, or hunger? Think about that for a minute. Laughter in dark times. When life gets you down, whether from personal or global tragedy, it is important to find your laughter. As Josh Billings says about laughter, genuine laughing is the vent of the soul, the nostrils of the heart, and it is just as necessary for health and happiness as spring water is for a trout. Amen. Come join us for a morning of therapeutic laughter with Marla Loturco. Marla is a certified laughter leader with the World Laughter Tour, and a member of Red River Unitarian Universalist Church in Denison, Texas. Marla is a semi-retired computer consultant, still teaching a few computer classes for Grayson College Workplace Learning and doing some online consulting. She plays dulcimer. What is that?
You set it on your lap and you
Oh, okay.
strum and play.
I think I know what that is. With several clubs, groups in her spare time. And now let's welcome Marla.
Thank you. We might not get quite as much laughter in this time as we have in other times, because I have a little bit more of a message that I want to share with you as well. They've told me I have 25 minutes, so I'm going to start right away. And anytime I laugh, I'll try and step away from the microphone, because otherwise it'll be too loud. Now, as we've heard in the readings, it is the dark times that we most need to laugh to preserve our mental and emotional health. Sometimes that is not easy. This morning, we're going to look at some ways we can jumpstart our laughter. The first one is something you can do every morning in the privacy of your own bed. We call this a meditation, but it's a very special meditation. Before we start the actual meditation, there are a couple of things I want to remind you of for participating today. While we will remain seated most of the time, laughter is a form of exercise. It's called internal jogging because we laugh, we tighten our core, and we massage our organs. We do only stretches and deep breathing, or only do the stretches and deep breathing if they're appropriate for you. If a doctor wouldn't let you exercise, then you should probably watch and smile. Smiling works too. Use the 70% rule. When exercising, give 70%. This is enough to benefit without injury. And our motto this morning is no pain, no pain. So during the rest of these laughter exercises and the meditation, some guidelines to remember. We laugh with each other, not at each other. We laugh voluntarily. I'm not going to come out there and say, you're not laughing. We don't judge, we don't criticize, we don't analyze, and we're not competing. We give ourselves permission to laugh out loud. We laugh because we accept the fact that life is sometimes silly, ludicrous, absurd, and just plain funny. Our actual meditation that we're going to do was written by Oso in the Orange Book. And Oso described laughter as a state in which the mind disappears in explosion of joy. In the Orange Book, he suggests the following for starting the morning. The first thing to be done is laughter, because that sets the trend for the whole day. If you wake up laughing, you will soon feel how absurd life is. Nothing is serious. Even your disappointments are laughable. Even your pain is laughable. Even you are laughable. The guiding steps from Oso include every morning upon waking, before opening your eyes, stretch like a cat. Stretch every fiber of your being. After 3 or 4 minutes with your eyes closed, begin to laugh. And for 5 minutes, just laugh. At first, you will be doing it by an act of will. But soon, the sound of your attempt will cause genuine laughter. Lose yourself in the laughter. It may take several days before it really happens, for we are so unaccustomed to the phenomenon. But before long, it will be spontaneous and will change the whole nature of your day. Now, this morning, we're going to pretend right now that we just woke up. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to close our eyes and we're going to stretch. And then you're going to hear me start laughing a little bit. And then we're going to laugh a little bit. And after that, we'll follow it with just a moment of sitting quietly. So, is everybody ready? We're going to start stretching. You can close your eyes, you can leave them open, but you just want to stretch. Feel yourself stretch. You can bend down, you can bend to the side. Think about being in bed. If you were in bed stretching, you could just stretch all of your body. And now just sit quietly for a moment. You continue to smile. What a way to wake up. If you are having difficulty letting yourself laugh, start with just a smile and maybe a few chuckles. You can work up to allowing yourself to release. And remember, you're doing this in the privacy of your own bedroom. Maybe your spouse watching, but that's all. Okay, now we have a song. And please stand as you are willing and able to join us with the Yu Pokey. And you may still do some of the, if you want to sit, you can still do some of the gestures while you're sitting. And most of all, this is to have fun. The words will be on the screen. We're going to do this without a piano accompaniment. And I'm going to have to keep looking back because I didn't write down the words in my thing. Oh, good, and I get the choir to help me here. Oh, great, thank you. Are you ready? Yeah. You put your smile in, you take your smile out, you put your smile in, and you shake it all about. You do the Yu Pokey and you turn yourself around, and that's what it's all about. You put your laughter in, you put your laughter out, your laughter in, and you shake it all about. You do the Yu Pokey and you turn yourself around. And that's what it's all about. You put your open mind in, you put your open mind out, you put your open mind in, and you shake it all about. You do the Yu Pokey and you turn yourself around, and that's what it's all about. You put your helping hands in, you take your helping hands out, you put your helping hands in, and you shake them all about. You do the Yu Pokey and you turn yourself around, and that's what it's all about. You put your loving heart in, you take your loving heart out, you put your loving heart in, and you shake it all about. You do the Yu Pokey and you turn yourself around, and that's what it's all about. You put your whole self in, you put your whole self out, you put your whole self in, and you shake it all about. You do the Yu Pokey and you turn the world around. That's what it's all about. Yay! Okay. That get you warmed up? Everybody ready to go on from there? One of the people that I so admire is Annette Goodhart. She has a book written, obviously, called Laughter Therapy. You can see YouTube of her on the computer. But she has 3 myths of laughter that I highly believe in. They're particularly relevant when we're experiencing difficult times. The first myth, you need a reason to laugh. As both Amy Foster and Steve Goodyear indicated in the readings, laughter helps us cope with disease, disasters, and loss. We need to release the tension. I don't know about you, but these days, with the media, with what's happening in the world, I need to release tension a lot and not watch much television. Second myth, we laugh because we're happy. We can laugh when we're happy, but we don't have to be. Both readings indicated we don't need to be happy to laugh. Yes, it's easier when we're happy, but just laughing can raise our brain set point and allow us to feel better. Even a smile can begin the process. Laughter is cathartic, and it helps rebalance our emotions like fear, stress, and anger. The third myth, a sense of humor and laughter are one and the same. This morning we've talked about humor and we've talked about laughter. The reality is you don't need to have a sense of humor to laugh. A sense of humor is learned. Laughter is inherent. We see babies laugh all of the time, and they don't have a clue about humor. Laughter should never hurt others, including ourselves. We should never poke fun, tease, or ridicule. The put-downs, even of ourselves, are the dark side of humor. They are not healthy for us or for other people. Avoid taking part by using or listening to this type of humor. It is important to take ourselves lightly, to laugh at ourselves as long as we don't ridicule ourselves. An example of this approach is sharing embarrassing moments. We all certainly have them, as our earlier reading suggested. It was helpful for the children with cancer to laugh at some of the embarrassing times. This helps us connect with others without self-depreciation or self-put-down. In her book, Annette Goodhart suggests things to do that could create more laughter in your life. They're going to be on the screen, and some of them I'll talk directly about, some of them you can just read. We'll be doing some sitting laughter exercises along the way, but because of limited time, we won't do quite as many. Please feel free to participate at your level of comfort, and then take advantage and push yourself just a little bit out of your comfort zone if you dare. One of the most common things is people say that I just couldn't laugh. Well, there's a very good one. It's called fake it till you make it. And so if you start to laugh, people call it fake laughter sometimes, but that's okay. At first, you're going to feel self-conscious, like you're forcing it. Once you get started, the body will take over, especially if you laugh with others. Now, we're going to do a little bit of warm-up because it's better for us to be warmed up. We did the you pokey, which helped. But we're going to do one that's called ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. And all we're going to do is clap to that. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. And then at the very end, we're going to do that 3 times. At the very end, we're going to go, yay. So, ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Yay! Good. Getting ourselves warmed up a little bit. Our hands, our voice. Now I'm going to give you one. It's going to be easier for you guys sitting down than it is for me standing. But we're going to do this as a warm-up, and each round we do one less syllable. So we are going to shake our right hand and go ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Then we're going to shake our left hand, ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. We're going to shake our right foot, and then we're going to shake our left foot and still do the ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. The next time we're going to do ho, ho, ha, ha, and then ho, ho, ha, and then ho, ho. So you get the idea. So we're going to see how well we do on this. And laughing spontaneously is part of this. Okay, so shake the right hand. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. 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 Ho, ho, 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 ho. Yay! Would you do me a favor and hand me my water? Thank you. So now that we've warmed up, we're going to do our first laughter exercise. If you ever go to a laughter club, they do this one or one of these kind right at the beginning. And it's called a recognition laughter. And so we're going to look around and we're going to see people and we're going to say, and so you point at somebody and you make eye contact and you just laugh. So just look around and point at somebody, and here we go. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Yay! Your embarrassing moments are often difficult to share with people. We have a lot of emotion on them. Sometimes we can share them and laugh about them, and then we might experience connection with others. We also may get in touch with the original humiliation and pain that hasn't been released and free ourselves. To feel foolish is universal and divine. Okay, the next one, please. There's hundreds and hundreds of toys. And I have brought some of them with me. When I want to clap, ho, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho. I can have a clapper. My phone's trying to talk to me. You can get toys like this. It's the only way I can juggle. I'm not very good with balls. But you can get all kinds of things. You can find funny pens. Pens. You know, you go to sign serious documents. Why not have a funny pen to use to sign it with? We can play with animals and laugh with babies and have all kinds of good times. So it's important. Toys can be a big part of what we do. So we're going to do one that's called blowing bubbles. Now I had a regular bubble wand, but we're going to do one without that. And so what you do is you're going to dip your wand in the bubble stuff, and then you're going to bring it out, and you're going to go, and then you're going to dip it in, and you're going to, so let's continue. Dip it in, and dip it in. You can catch that bubble, too, if you want. Dip it in. Pretend your dog is chasing him around. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Yay! And we're going to make a serious list. We're going to read it aloud in front of the mirror. We're going to be very serious. We're going to make sure we have the appropriate facial expressions. We Because what we tend to do is we clamp our expressions and our body in order not to express or reveal our fear or anger or grief. And as we're able to laugh at each one, we will begin to feel lighter. Laughing at them does not make them less important, just less controlling. Now, that means one time what I did is I used the seriously now. And I had a real bad issue with saying, I'm sorry. Oh, it's raining out there. I'm sorry. Everything I apologized for. I was guilty about everything. And so I read a book and they suggested, all right, every time you start to feel guilty, say, at 8 o'clock tonight, I'm going to feel guilty. And so you go through the day, and every time you say, at 8 o'clock tonight, I'm going to feel guilty. And 8 o'clock tonight comes, and you sit there and you look at yourself in the mirror and said, God, it rained today. God, I am so guilty. How could I have allowed that to happen? Oh, my friend fell when she was walking. How could I have allowed that to happen? And just feel guilty about everything. Look yourself in the face and feel guilty. After a couple of days, all you have to do is say, at 8 o'clock tonight, and you'll start laughing. Because you know that you're going to feel really silly when you're doing this and really being serious about it. But it helped me tremendously get rid of that thing that I was carrying around. You can also add tee-hee to statements. So seriously now, that's something you can add. Or you can say tee-hee. Risk looking foolish. If you make a mistake, play with it. Or wear a crazy hat like I did, or a pinwheel hair ornament. You might do this while you're doing chores around the house to see if it lightens the mood. So we're going to do one now that's called laughing the stress away. So think about things that make you stressful. Your computer died. You're on the way to church. You got to be here on time. And there's a huge traffic accident and you're stuck. Think about the things that really make you stressful. And what you're going to do is you're going to think about those, you're going to shake them off, and you're going to take some deep breaths, and you're going to go, ha, 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 and just open your arms and laugh. So, think about whatever it is that makes you stressed. I was coming here, there's a big accident, I'm going to be late, I got to be here on time, whatever. And start shrugging it off and laughing and breathing. Now, the person next to you in the next car is going to think you're crazy. But who cares? If I feel better, I don't care what they think. I won't ever see them again anyway, probably. Okay, next one. Do something out of character. We're going to do I've only got 2 minutes. We're not going to do another one. So, some of these, consider taking a teddy bear, share what you've laughed about, help someone else. Our biggest service to other people is helping them laugh. And when we do, we laugh pretty much as well. Okay. Giggle belly. How many know what giggle belly is? Oh, good. We've got some giggle belly players. You lay one person down. You lay the next person down with their head on the first person's belly. And you lay them all the way around the room till the last person lays their head on the first, or till they get all the way around connected. And then somebody starts to go, ho, 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 ho. And pretty soon your belly's laughing so much that everybody breaks down laughing. Okay, a winking meditation. You get someone, you don't tell them you're doing this. you get really serious. Will you look into my eyes? And you just start winking. And pretty soon, everybody's broke up laughing. Okay, the next one. You want to have a family reunion. You can get together with your family on the phone or in person, but find, and this is what works for friends too, find key phrases that make you laugh. I had a friend that every time we got together, we'd watch movies. And she loved these sexy hunks on the television. And she would say, "Oh, I could just lick the screen." And we got so, all we had to do was say, "I could just lick the screen," and we'd burst out laughing because that was our key word between us. So, silly photographs, whatever you need. And come on, hush up. Okay. All right, so we'll do one more laughter exercise then, and then we'll finish up. So go to the next one. Create your own laughter exercise. You can start groups. You can have anonymous laughter groups. You can do certified laughter groups. There's all kinds of ways you can laugh. We're going to do one called the trombone laughter. Trombone, you know how trombones slide. All right, you can do it either way. When you get further away, you get louder, or when you get closer, you get louder. Whichever way you want to. It makes no difference. But you're going to go, so you play with it. All right, ready? And. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Yay! And the last slide. All right, I want you to kind of sit for a moment and compare how you feel now with how you started. You don't have to tell anybody, but what's your energy, your tiredness, friendly, withdrawn, tension, anxiety, hunger? How do you feel? May you go in peace, health, and laughter. Thank you for your participation.
What else can I find here? You know, I no joking. I've got a whole bag of these things in my car. It works. I'll wear one to work, and I'll just talk seriously. And I can't wear this. Thanks, Marla. That was great. I don't know about everyone else, but I just feel a lot better than I did when I came in here. You feel that more energy, and you're this close to laughing at the next thing someone says, too. All right, as we have received, so we're asked to give. Please use the offering envelopes provided. Green envelopes are for pledges or gifts to Pathways, and gold envelopes are for donations to our outreach partner. Our outreach partner is Safe Haven of Tarrant County. Safe Haven's mission to end domestic violence through safety support, prevention, and social change. Though Safe Haven's outreach, education, support services, and prevention programs, they are making progress to end domestic violence in Tarrant County. Will now receive the offering. Thank you for your generous gifts, kindly and freely given, this morning and electronically or by mail throughout the month to support this congregation and our outreach efforts. Your offering is truly appreciated. We hope that each of you on your individual path through the joys and questions of life found some common ground with your fellow travelers of Pathways here today. Now, as Marla extinguishes the chalice flame, let us join in these words written by Elizabeth Sell Jones. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. As we carry our hearts until we are together again. To all of our first-time visitors, we hope you enjoyed the service today. Come again. It is always something different and wonderful here, as you can see. If you would like to learn more about Pathways, stay around after worship, have some coffee and snacks, and talk with us. We'd love to meet you. Share your contact information with us at our welcome table in the foyer, and if you like, sign up on our website for our weekly e-newsletter to be informed of events coming up at Pathways. There are meetings and events here at Pathways throughout the week. Here are just a few, along with other announcements. For our full lineup, see Pathways Weekly or the events calendar on our website, pathwaysuu.org. Also, take home the order of service sheet inside the packet on your chairs because it has the dates of upcoming events on the announcement side. Sign up today for Cash for Pathways Rewards programs. This is free money for our congregation if you would just sign up. Grab a cookie and find Steve Braun in the foyer. Join the Women's Book Club right here at Pathways on Thursday, February 20th at 1 o'clock to finish the discussion of the divinely funny book, Where'd You Go, Bernadette? Join us at U Camp and Retreat Center, April 3rd to 5th for a contemplative spiritual practices retreat weekend. Early registration deadlines March 5th. Sandy Moore and Reverend Rob Moore, not related, will provide the spiritual programming and food, lodging, fellowship, and possibly transformation. For more information on how to register, please see the handouts on your seats. All over the country, young people and adults have already begun organizing for the biggest climate strike yet. From Wednesday, April 22nd to Friday, April 24th, we will join together and use our collective voice to demand climate action. Time is not on our side. This must be the decade of climate action, and it has begun in its critical election year. From April 22nd to April 24th, young people are once again asking adults to back them up as we take our movement to the next level. After we break for coffee and conversation, we continue with our adult discussion groups. Harried Reasoners, our humanist group, will meet in the sanctuary today for a lively discussion on wealth and morality. On My Path will meet upstairs in the loft. This is a group for adults to celebrate and deepen their individual spiritual journey. It is open to all truth seekers from any path and is a safe place to speak your truth in a circle of trust. Visitors and newcomers are welcome and encouraged to attend either of these adult discussion groups. All right, parents, please pick up your children from the nursery and RE immediately after Common Ground so that all ages can share in the fellowship and food. The nursery will reopen at 11:30 for your convenience during the adult discussion groups. And now please stand as you are willing and able and join the Come As You Are choir in singing our closing hymn, "'Tis a Gift to Be Silly." Our benediction today is written by Marissa Donnelly. I hope you live louder. I hope you laugh more. I hope you sing at the top of your lungs. I hope you drive with the windows down and let the wind rustle through your hair. I hope you hug. I hope you kiss. I hope you surround yourself with people that make you feel alive. I hope you become the type of person that brings good energy wherever you go and the type of person we want to be around. I hope you speak what's on your mind, that you raise the voice of injustice, that you tell others that you love them instead of waiting until it's too late. I hope you live louder, shine brighter from this moment on. Blessed be, go in peace.
Go in peace.